Hello, my name is Chloe Green and I work with marketing and communications at Farm to Facts. Farm to Facts is a data collection toolkit for farmers market managers. We work with individual farmers markets and market organizations. And you can find us at farmtofacts.org. So this is what the front of our website looks like. You can sign up for our listserv or take a look at some of the things we'll be talking about today, such as the different impacts that we measure, the steps to our data collection process, what our customers say, and more. You can always contact us at info@farmtofacts.org at any time to get answers from our customer service team. Up here, you can see more of this information, such as how our methods work, frequently asked questions, and more about contacting us. If you chose to become a member of Farm to Facts, you could simply go here to log into your account. You could also visit account.farmtofacts.org. As I mentioned, Farm to Facts works in 3 steps. The first is selecting your metrics. We have over 25 metrics that help to measure social, economic, and ecological impacts. When you sign up as a member, a customer service team member will help you decide what metrics are best to tell your market story. In step 2, you'll see how we collect this data. Each of our metrics fall into one of our 9 instruments, and we have detailed instructions and worksheets for how you'll collect this data. Our team has over 30 years of market experience, and we've been working on research specifically for Farm to Facts for over 5 years. The third step is communicate findings. So after you've put into the work to collect data over your market season, you'll then see the benefit through different ways of analyzing your data. In this first tool, you'll be able to see quantitatively some statistics that you can use in things such as your annual reports or your grants. In report findings, you'll be able to create visual representations of your data to show your stakeholders or simply advertise your farmers market in your community. So let's dive in. The first thing you'll do when you sign up for Farm to Facts is create a profile. It should take you about 30 minutes and asks you information that you likely know about your market. In future years, if you continue to use Farm to Facts, you'll be able to just duplicate your profile and simply update information for your current year rather than having to create completely new profiles. The first step of the process is selecting metrics. So, you'll see here that we have every market collect these 4 metrics. The first is the average distance in miles traveled, which basically means food miles. So this can be an ecological impact. The second is how much land your market vendors take up, which can also be an ecological impact. The third is your number of visitors, which is social, and your fourth is your total market sales, which falls into the economics. Then you'll see the rest of our metrics stratified by the instrument that they fall under. So for vendor application, which is only done once at the beginning of the market season, you'll see that it has 2 of the metrics that we require. So everyone does a vendor application. Then you'll be able to select which of the metrics you'd like to use in addition, if any. If you choose something like this and you see a plus sign, you can see all of the sub-metrics that fall under that. So if you decide to use number of individuals employed by market business, then you'll also get information from our toolkit about individuals employed in each of these sectors. The visitor count and visitor survey are done only 4 times throughout the market season. This is because they require a little bit of extra work and volunteer support. The 4 days are your 3rd market day, your 3rd to last market day, a busy day, and an average day. You'll see that for visitor survey, none of these are required. So if your market is of lower capacity, you could just not do the visitor survey. The vendor sales slip and central terminal sales are done at every market to increase reliability of data. You'll see that we also have information here about incentive programs such as SNAP, and we also have information about WIC, Senior FMMP, and any other incentive program that your market might uniquely use. For vendor attendance, we also do this every day, and for volunteers and market programs, you would do those whenever those occur at your market. So you can simply press Submit Metrics when you're ready, and then it'll take you to this page where you can see your instructions for each of the instruments for which you selected metrics under, and also your worksheets. We default to paper worksheets because we know not all markets have reliable access to internet. However, if you'd like to do your vendor application online, whether that be in person and handing them an iPad or something like that, or sending your vendors a link so that they can sign up on their own computer, or for visitor survey, you can also use these online forms. But of course, you can use the paper worksheets as well if you prefer. To get to this page throughout the season, you can also just go directly to Download Documents. We are now going to move into the second step, which is collect data. So we're going to take a look at the vendor application. You'll see here that you can either go to our vendor application form, which looks like this, or you can go and copy the link to your clipboard so that you can send that out to your vendors. You can, if you do that, your information will automatically populate down here with the data, or you can also download a CSV, fill in the template as it looks on your paper worksheet, re-upload it, and it will also populate down here. You'll then be able to edit data directly in here, or you can edit your CSV, re-upload it, and then it would append any previous entries that you had or add any new ones that you've added to the CSV since your last upload. Our other instruments look similar to this, except that, as you'll remember, the only other one that has an online form is the visitor survey. So now we'll move on to our final step, which is communicate findings. The first option is to analyze data. So you can go in here and we'll look at Wapaka Farmers Market and Wisconsin Rapids Farmers Market here in Wisconsin. So, and we want to look at the average number of visitors per day and the percent of customers who were first-time visitors, and run analysis. You'll see here that we can see by market their average number of visitors, their percent of first-time visitors, and then these averaged together. So this is useful if you're a market organization so that you can look at all of your markets. If you're an individual market, you would just have the first line so that you can look at your own data. And again, people use this information for grant applications, annual reports, and any other usage to which the market would find important. The second way of looking at your data is communicate findings, and we can do this visually. So again, we can look at this market, and then you have an option to choose 2, 4, or 6 infographics. For now, we're going to choose 2, and then you can search what metric you'd like to talk about. So we're going to do that percent of customers who are first-time visitors. And then you'll see that 2 interpretive statements are generated. The first is a simple reiteration of that data that you collected. The second is more about why is this data important? So we've had people on our Farm Facts team create these based on what their expertise was. And then you have an icon automatically selected for each metric. However, if you'd like to change it, you can always go down here and choose a different one to your liking. You would repeat this for infographics 2 through 4, and then you could create your header and footer with these suggested titles. Then all you would do is click Generate Report, and you would get something that looks like this. Here's a market that we worked with one summer, and you can see here that they used the shorter statements and included information such as the days and times of their market and their Facebook. This is a separate market that we worked with for 3 years. So here, instead of just having information for one market, they have the averages over 3 years. They also have used the longer statements. So those are our 3 steps. If you have more questions about Farm to Facts and what we do, we encourage you to reach out to us at info@farmtofacts.org so we can either schedule a personalized demo or answer any of your questions that you may have. Thanks for listening and have an impactful day.